Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We've got the first starter set for Wizkids Dice Masters in our hands. Now, Wizkids is doing a little bit something different for their Dice Masters game when it comes to their starter sets for 2017. Now, normally, or not normally, but in the past, the company has released a starter set with each new set that comes out. Now they're doing, as I said, something a little bit different in that there's going to be only a couple starter sets each year. So there's going to be at least one for DC, one for Marvel, and we've got the one in front of us for Marvel. The Marvel Iron Man and War Machine Dice Masters starter set. Now, what's Dice Masters? Dice Masters is a game where you go and you build a team of characters and dice to go battle your opponent. Now, what's kind of cool is that it's got tons of themes. There's characters from Marvel, DC, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, D&D, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and you can go mix them all up to put together your team. Really, really fun game. Love playing it. Play it all, a decent amount of time and do tournaments and stuff like that. Great time. If you're really into comic books and those type of characters, you're probably going to dig this just for the possibilities of what you can do. So, what's the starter set? The starter set is the easiest way to really get going in the game. Now, what you get in this starter set is 44 custom dice. You use the dice to actually play the game. There's 12 basic action dice, 16 character dice, 16 sidekick dice, and there's 39 cards, 24 characters, 3 of each character, so that's 8 characters, 2 dice for each character, 10 basic action cards, 4 color reminder cards, 1 reminder card, there's a rule book, and 2 dice bags. So in theory, you could actually play this with 2 people, though, generally you're going to want to do collecting more and build out your collection. Think of the game as a deck builder meets Magic the Gathering. It's the best way I've described it, in that you go and you buy dice, you go battle out against your opponent, rolling the dice to see what happens, but you're building your team overall, and it's collectible, kind of like Magic. If you understand that concept, you're probably, doing much better than a lot of people watching this video. So we're going to go, we're going to open this up, we're going to show off the cards inside. Now the big thing that's going to go on after this video is all shot is we're going to start doing a breakdown of the characters and the cards on our site, Graphic Policy, and talk a little bit about the characters themselves, their history, the art on the cards, stuff like that. I think it's a lot of fun to do and show off. So we're going to go and try to keep things somewhat together to make it easy to get. Now, as I said, there's pretty much everything you're going to need to start this game for at least 2 players. There's basic action dice. This is kind of the basic action dice, the main ones that you're going to start with. You start the game with 8 of these, and you start rolling around. So there's enough for 2 different players. These are a dime a dozen. When you're playing this game for a year, you're going to have pretty much enough dice to build a small fort out of these types. Nothing really special about them. They're pretty much the basic white die that are pretty common in this. These are the basic action dice. Basic action dice you use to buy actions. We'll talk those in a little bit. It looks like the colors that we've got is this kind of orange gold sort of thing going on. I think we've seen this color before. It doesn't seem unique at all to me. Nothing's really standing out as far as the color itself. So I'm going to put that to the side. We've got this kind of gray color. Again, I think we've seen this color before. Nothing's really standing out to me. We've got blue, which I know we've seen this blue before. And finally, pink. And I know we've seen pink before. So when it comes to basic action dice, when it comes to the actual character dice or the regular dice, there's nothing too special about that. So let's go and actually look at the characters themselves. But before we get to that, we got the rule book. Nice updated rule book. There are multiple cards available for each character die. You can choose which one you want to use. Going over this, which is pretty handy and useful. This is the type of thing that you'll need a playmat to play. This is really handy. I like the playmat. It keeps me organized as to what I'm doing. The thing that I think that's really great about this rule book is that there's a nice glossary in there and some other things to help you out. And so this is the playmat. I'm a big fan of the playmats. I play with playmats. I know some people don't. We also get 2 bags. Let's check out the art for those bags. We've got Iron Man and War Machine on one side, and of course Iron Man War Machine Dice Masters set on the other. And we got a little bit different art with Iron Man War Machine. And we've got the set there. But let's go and check out the cards themselves. This is what everyone really wants to see. Now, I'm not going to go too much in depth. I might make some comments here and there. Something really jumps out at me, but that's not kind of the point of this video. We've got the basic action card colors. That you know what basic action dice go with which color. This is actually somewhat new. This is kind of cool. One, it's on an advertisement on one side, but we've got keywords and symbols. It's kind of a cheat sheet card for Dice Masters. They've been using this more and more. We saw this in the Deadpool set. We saw this in, I think there was another set, Green Arrow Flash. I think we saw this. And I really think it's helpful. You know, it's got some of the key terms that you'll find in the set. Within here, we've got a bunch of team affiliations that are pretty handy. Stark Industries, which I believe is a new affiliation. Shield that we've seen before. Avengers is one we've seen before, and Spider Friends we've seen before. The keywords, we've got a Suit Up. When you purchase a character die with Suit Up, you may KO a character you control whose name matches one of the names listed in the ability. If you do, you may immediately field the purchase die at level 2. That's actually really cool. That's a new feature, a new term in the game. We haven't seen that before. Ally is common. We've seen that many times. Character dice with ally ability count as sidekicks while in the field zone. They don't count as sidekick dice when in the bag, prep area, use pile, or everywhere else. Clarifies ally a little bit. Fast, we've seen this one. Characters with fast deal combat damage before other characters, all at the same time instead of the regular time for combat damage. Iron Will, I believe we've seen this one before. This character cannot be KO'd. Yes, we've definitely seen this one. Unless it was previously damaged this turn. If this character was previously damaged this turn, and A, it is damaged a second time, and total damage it is received this turn equals or exceeds its defense, or B, a game effect later in the same turn reduces this character's defense such that the damage it previously received this turn is equal to or greater than its new damage, or C, a later game effect this turn directs that character to be KO'd and then KO this character. You might need to be a lawyer to understand what the hell I just said. Overcrush, when attacking, if this character KOs all its blockers, it's dealt A&A leftover damage to your opponent. We've seen all these terms except Suit Up. Suit Up is a brand new one, and that actually sounds like an awesome thing. I can't wait for DC sets with Suit Up, and we can see Batman swoop in for Bruce Wayne. First up, we've got the cards and characters themselves. As I said before, we get 8 characters, 3 of each type. Here we have Howard Stark. Howard Stark's die looks like I moved one of his dice somewhere. Yep, here we go. He's got this hat. We can see the character design. His dice is 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Max 4 dice. Now, this is the thing to keep in mind. With the max 4 dice, that means you're going to need 2 sets, 2 starter sets to complete all the characters and max them all out. So that kind of sucks a little bit. Usually there was a starter set and then you had the basic sets. The basic set would allow you to get the extra dice to max out these characters, but we don't have that now. So, you know, stinks a little bit, but maybe these characters will be in a future set that we don't know about. We're not quite sure how that's going to work. So let's go over Howard Stark's cards really quick. We've got Howard Stark Father. He is an ally, cost 2 with a mask. Shield affiliation. He can't be targeted by global abilities if you roll the star, so is level 3. Next, we've got Ally, cost of 3. At the start of turn, you may sacrifice this character die. If you do, other character dice you control gain +2 attack until the end of turn. And then 3, another 3 cost. At the start of your turn, you may sacrifice this character die. If you do, spin target character die up 1 level. It gains Iron Will until end of turn. Overall, pretty cheap character with the stats of 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3 is not too bad. I can see him becoming useful possibly in some Shield teams. So we've gone with the Howard Stark dice. Let's go look at what's next. We've got Hulkbuster Iron Man. Now we've seen this one before. Its dice is 155 266 377. That's a hulking hulking character. As we expected, we can see the die with the Hulkbuster armor as its symbol. Cost of 6 on one version. Hulkbuster Iron Man cannot be blocked by character dice with a purchase cost of 6 or more. That's pretty heavy, and he's got the Iron Man symbol on there, the affiliation. We've got the next one. Let's see here, what was that one called? That one was Model 36. Next, we've got Rocket Powered Punches. Suit Up Iron Man. When purchased, you may KO an Iron Man character die to field this die at level 2. Now, keep in mind, level 2 is 266. So, if you're able to purchase that one quickly, you might be able to get this out pretty quick and do some damage with that sort of ability. So, we got cost of 7 Fist. When fielded, you may KO target opposing character die with purchase cost 6 or more. If you do, gain 2 life. You know, not a bad one. I would probably do the one that you can get them out a bit quicker with the suit up. I think that would be kind of cool. But overall, the Hulkbuster Iron Man isn't quite impressing me. I also don't tend to play with really high cost characters, so that's me. Next, we've got Iron Manor. This one, I don't remember. So 4 costs, energy is the symbol. The die is 144, 264, and 266. This is the die. It's a see-through translucent. So far, none of the die, look-wise, are really jumping at me. There's some, sometimes some really cool-looking dice. But all right, let's go over this one. So we got Suit Up. So when purchased, you may KO an Iron Man character die to field this die at level 2. Global pays 0 once per turn. On your turn, spin down one of your Iron Man character dice. You may field an Iron Man character die for 1 less. That could be really cool, and it kind of goes with the whole, just empty shell Iron Man like flying around all over the place. So that one actually can be really helpful if you're playing an Iron Man team. Next we got Suit Up, and then he also has Iron Man gains, well, let's first describe that. That one was Earth X. And this one is hermetically sealed. So Iron Man gains +1 attack, +1 defense for each other different active Iron Manor gains that. Different active Iron Man character. So you can get a pretty beefy character with the 144, 264, and 266. That's pretty cheap to purchase and pretty hefty stats out there. So you can potentially get just a behemoth of a character on the field for not a whole lot. Next, we've got Celestial Slayer. Cost of 5. Has Suit Up. And then Global 0 cost, so pay 0 once per turn. On your turn, spin down one of your Iron Man character dice. You may field an Iron Man character die for 1 less, which is very similar to the previous one, which was you may field. So what is the difference? Oh, so this is different. So there's different types of suit ups. So this one's Suit Up. When purchased, you may KO an Iron Man character die to field this die at level 2. This one's Suit Up Iron Manor gains +1 attack, +1 defense for each other different active Iron Man character on top of the Suit Up. So I'm guessing he has the Suit Up. It then has the +1 attack, +1 defense, and the Global. So basically it's the other 2 cards combined for 1 cost more. Really interesting. I don't think we've seen that in other cards. So that's kind of cool. Overall, I like that. If I was doing an Iron Man team, I probably would be rocking that one. All right, we've got Iron Spider up next. I think we've seen Iron Spider before, maybe not with that character actual title. There we go for the die. It's kind of got his eyes. Looks somewhat cool. For Iron Spider, people don't know, Tony Stark went and built a suit for Spider-Man to look all cool in Civil War. So 3 cost fist on Team Iron Man or Team Spider-Man. Version 2.0, when fielded, target Iron or Spider character die you control gets +1 defense until end of turn. Instead, when fielded, each of your Iron and Spider-Man character dice get +1 defense if you roll the star. So that's version 2.0. We've got Waldo's, cost of 3, Suit Up, Iron Spider or Spider-Man. When purchased, you may KO an Iron Spider or Spider-Man character die to field this die at level 2. So get that one out quicker. Cost 4 with the fist. When fielded, deal 2 damage to target character die for each different Iron Man or Spider-Man character die you control. That's kind of more up my alley. I like irritating people like that. So that's too cool for words and Waldo. So I'd probably pick one of the latter 2 if I was doing a Spider-Man Iron Man team. And I think that's actually a pretty cool team, potentially. All right, we've got Jarvis up next. Jarvis is got this for his symbol. It looks like a vacuum cleaner. Pretty sure it's a vacuum cleaner. All right, we got 3 cost Iron Mask. He's an Avenger. This is Jarvis Butler. He's an ally, which means he's the sidekick. When fielded, deal X damage to target character die, where X is the number of character dice you fielded this turn, including Jarvis. So global pays 0 once per turn. On your turn, spin down one of your Iron Man character dice. You may field an Iron Man character die for 1 less. That's actually pretty awesome. If you're doing an Iron Man team with the Avengers logo, though, that makes that rather interesting. Next, we got Ally. When fielded, the next character die you field this turn costs 1 less to field and gets +1 attack and +1 defense. His die is pretty weak, though. 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, and 0, 1, 3. That one's a 4 mask. 5 masks, so we're getting kind of expensive here. Ally, when fielded, gain X life, where X is the number of character dice you field this turn, including Jarvis. That could be pretty helpful. Life-gaining abilities aren't common in this game. Alright, next we've got Rescue. Let's look at the die really quick. So we got Mark 1616 to Bolt. Not much there. The die cost is, or the die stats are 0, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3. Cheap character to get out there with Iron Man team. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Alright, we got Rescue Resilient. 3 cost with the Energy Bolt. She's got Suit Up, Pepper Potts, or Rescue. And at the end of your roll and reroll tap, your opponent lose 1 life for each Rescue die that rolled an energy phase. Rescue doesn't need to be active for this ability to trigger. Next, we got 4 bolts, Catching a Jet, Suit Up, Pepper Potts, Rescue. At the end of your roll and reroll step, draw 1 die for each rescue die you roll that shows an energy phase. Field any rescue die you rolled that shows energy phase, or sorry, field any Iron Man character dice you drew at level 1. Return all other dice drawn this way to your bag. Rescue doesn't need to be active for this ability trigger. That's a pretty awesome card right there. Absolutely going to have it on an Iron Man team. So Rescue seems to be a beast for the Iron Man team, and a must-have. Alright, we're coming on to our second last character. We've got Space Armor Iron Man. It's the die. Nice blood red, I guess we'll call it. So we got Model 5. This is 4 shield. It's got Suit Up. When purchased, you may KO an Iron Man character die to field this die at level 2. Stats are 135, 137, and 247. So fairly cheap for a card with some great defense. We got 5 shield. This is Deep Space. He's got Suit Up. If you have the star when you roll it, each time an opposing character die deals damage to Space Armor Iron Man, you gain 1 life. Again, life gaining is not a common thing. Next, we've got Space Armor Iron Man number 14-C. If Space Armor Iron Man gets KO'd by combat damage, you may pay a shield. If you do, spin Space Iron Man up 1 level and clear all damage from him. That's pretty awesome. I guess we can keep him in the game that way. When fielded, Space Armor Iron Man gains Overcrush. Pretty awesome, though. You know, you might want to go and use, I think it's the action die or whatever it is that allows you to flip the stat, the attack and defense value. Getting that 7 out there would be pretty awesome. That's for 6 shield. Overall, not a bad card. Trio of cards, I definitely would probably be considering them in team. Finally, we've got War Machine as the final character. Let's go show that off. It's just pretty much the arc reactor in his color. So we got Model 11, War Machine, 3 shield, fast. This character deals damage before non-fast characters. 024, 134, 245. Not dealing tons of damage, but you know, for the cost, you're going to probably get out and take out some characters before they become a nuisance. We got a 4 shield. This is Rhodey. It's got fast, and when War Machine KOs an opposing character die with combat damage, deal 2 damage to your opponent. War Machine gets +1 attack. Next, we've got the JRXL 1000. He's got fast and Suit Up to Iron Man. Sidekicks cannot block. War Machine. 4 and a shield. Again, a nice card to use as part of an Iron Man team. So we see a lot of cards that are going to be swapping in and out, which should be really, really interesting for this set. Next is the basic action cards. Now, keep in mind these cards can be used by you and your opponent. So, you know, you might not want the greatest things out there to help your opponent, and you're going to want to stick with cards that are really, really helpful for your specific team. So first up, we've got Armor Wars. KO target die with Suit Up. Each player loses 1 life, 4 costs. Not very useful if you're using a lot of Suit Up people. You probably don't want to do that unless you are doing the life gaining abilities. Then you could probably do some fun stuff with KO KOing characters and costing your opponent some life while you'll gain some. We got Cone of Cold. Deal 1 damage to target character die, deal 2 damage to a different character die, and deal 3 damage to another different character die. You may only use this action if there are at least 3 character dice in the field zone. So the cost of 3, global, pay a fist, target block character gets 2+ attack. Now that global might be more helpful, but the damage thing is actually really interesting. That's a lot of damage, potentially bumping out characters for whole 3 cost. Next, we got Hyper Velocity. Cost of 5, continuous. At the end of each player's turn, if they didn't attack with any character dice, they lose 2 life. That's pretty awesome. This is one I might be tempted to get. Also, any player may pay 3 life during their main step to send this die to the used pile. That sounds like irritation that I would use in my team. So we got 1 against many. Cost of 5, deal target player X damage, where X is the number of character dice in their field zone, plus 2. Not bad. Could be interesting. We got Smash 3. KO target level 1 character die. It's not that bad. With 2 stars, instead KO target level 1 or 2 character die. Global, pay fist, target blocked character die, deals no combat damage during this turn. That could be a huge. That's a game changer card right there, and I can see tons of people using it, especially with some of the rush teams that are out there. That would be a way to stop the rush teams. Next, we've got Surprise Attack. Deal 1 damage to target character die with a stars. Instead, deal 2 with a 2 cost. So far, we've got 1 basic edge card that I would argue is probably a game changer. Upgrade Fortification, cost is 2. Target character die you control gains Iron Will. Lose 2 life if that character die isn't a character, a shield character die. Could be interesting. So far, I would really have to think about where I'd want. We've got Upgrade Proton Cannon. Upgrade sounds like something that's going to be new and interesting. Target character die you control gains Overcrush. KO that character die at the end of turn if it isn't a fist character die. Next, we've got Upgrade Smokescreen. Target character die you control gets +1 attack. If it's a level 1 mass character die, it can't be blocked this turn. Cost 2. And final, Upgrade Unibeam. Target character die you control gains +2 attack. If it is a lightning character die, it also gains fast. I really like the idea of the concept of the upgrade cards. I think that's pretty cool, and it's a great concept for the game, and it really fits the whole Iron Man, War Machine, changing around their arms or stuff like that. Overall, not a bad starter set. There's definitely some synergy in the cards, and I can see some of these cards being really useful in play. That 1 basic action card about stopping damage from anyone for a fist, I think that's going to be huge and a massive game changer for the game. I can already see ways to use it. But overall, not a bad starter set. I probably will go out and get a second starter set to get all 4 dice. Thank you, Wizkids, for the hookup. I believe this is out in February right now. Definitely, you can get it. It should retail anywhere from $14.99 to $19.99. Not 100% sure. So go check it out when it is released. For Dice Master fan, this seems like to be a solid release. As always, thank you for watching. You can go, and we're going to dive in deeper with each of these cards on graphicpolicy.com. There's tons of other Dice Master stuff that we have on the site, and of course videos here that you should probably check out especially if you're starting to get into the game. But thank you for watching. You can catch us every single day, again, at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. As always, keep rolling those dice, and keep it geeky.